G'day everyone, this is another Footyology Match Dispatch. We're reporting on the Western Bulldogs Melbourne clash at Metricon Stadium and have finished in a 28-point win to the Western Bulldogs. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 12 goals, 8, 80, defeating Melbourne 7-10-52. Big second half by the Doggies, 8 goals to just 2 by the Demons. Disappointing last hour or so of football by them. Well, difficult conditions up at Metricon today. Quite a swirly breeze, which saw quite a lot of turnovers and some shots at goal, which were interesting to say the least. But it was goal for most of that first half. Melbourne probably having the better of things early on. Sam Wiedemann strolled in to an open goal for their first. Western Bulldogs, they gradually got on top and they had the bulk of the forward entries, 13-5 actually in that opening term. Toby McLean got the Doggies on the board first, and then a great diving mark from Mitch Wallace, who managed to outbody James Harmes and kick a goal from about 30 metres out. And that would be the start of his influence on the game. He's had a great season as a small pressure forward for the Doggies, and he was terrific today. Second term, pretty much goal for goal. Melbourne looked the more dangerous, missed a couple of gettable chances. Jake Melksham had a golden opportunity to goal from about 30 metres out, and his kick was touched off the boot. Tom Liberatore probably kept the Dogs hanging in there in the midfield early on. He crept forward in that second term, kicked a lovely goal, sold a beautiful little dummy and threw the ball onto his left foot. A critical moment, though, of that first half came just in the last couple of minutes where Melbourne got one goal through Clayton Oliver, a snap from a scramble in front of goal, and then a lovely kick from Bailey Fritsch after a clinical centre bounce win, a tap from Braden Pruce, who really had the edge in the ruck to Jack Viney. Interesting, though, Luke Beveridge obviously worried by that ruck dominance. At half-time, his side trailing by 7 points, made a reasonably significant move, and that was to throw Josh Bruce, who'd been really well beaten by Melbourne's Stephen May, into the ruck, which made the Doggies a lot more competitive there. Tim English went forward and became a bit of a target down there. And all of a sudden, the Doggies midfield really clicked into action, and this game swung quite dramatically. It was Marcus Bontempelli, the skipper, who started that turnaround in under a minute of the start of the third term with a beautiful snap goal on his left foot. And that was the start of a burst of 5 in the first 15 minutes of the quarter to really give the Dogs the ascendancy. They got some fantastic drive off half-back through the agency of Bailey Williams and Hayden Crozier. Caleb Daniel was part of that as well. And they really got their run and handball game operating, and it was a bit of a tide in that third term. Mitch Wallace bobbed up with 2 more goals in what was becoming a critical contribution. And when the Doggies kicked their 6th goal of the quarter through Tim English after arguably the passage of the day, they took the ball the length of the ground from a kick-in, seamless transition. English took a mark about 25 metres out. He put the 6th goal on the board for them for the term to the Demons, nothing. And at three-quarter time, 27 points of difference, and the Demons right up against it. They gave themselves a chance kicking to the scoring end of it last term. Tom McDonald got one on the board about 5 minutes in, and you thought maybe there's still an opportunity here, but Mitch Wallace again responded. He kicked his 4th goal of the game, and then the energy was really sapped from the Demon effort. Charlie Spargo got there last, but by this stage, time was well and truly running out. And Ben Kavara got the last goal of the game for the Doggies. The margin in the finish, 28 points. Really good win for the Doggies. Really disappointing for the Demons, who are temporarily at least outside the 8. Good test for the Doggies too. They've got a couple of huge matches coming up the next 2 weeks against Geelong and West Coast. Let's have a good look at the scores quarter by quarter. As I said, Melbourne leading by 7 points at half-time. But the critical period in this game, the third term, when the Doggies slammed on 6 goals straight to just 3 behinds, 2 goals each in the last term, maintaining the status quo. and the Doggies running out 28-point winners. The goal kickers, Mitch Wallace, 4 goals in what I thought was a best on ground performance, and the rest just singles to the Doggies. The only multiple goal kicker for Melbourne, Sam Wiedemann, who chipped in with 2. Best players, like I said, in a day it was difficult to kick goals, I thought Wallace was outstanding, not only with his goal kicking, but just his pressure and his strong marking, deceptively strong in the one-on-one marking duels. I thought he was best on ground. Marcus Bontempelli, all the class you'd expect from him, kicked a goal, 22 disposals, 2 goal assists as well. And those skills by foot were really at a premium today. Jack McRae, geez, a consistent midfielder. I love the way he just racks up the touches, 26 disposals today. Bailey Smith, the man we at Footyology call East Malvern's finest mullet, terrific as well. Gee, he's having a great season, 26 disposals and a huge influence on that third quarter. Thought Lockie Hunter was really steady for 4 quarters. And a couple of those running defenders, Bailey Williams, very good. Hayden Crozier, really important in that third term. For the Demons, Jack Viney, I thought, was their best today. Probably the closest to a 4-quarter effort. Thought the Demons' next best were probably the 2 key defenders. Petrarca, not as influential, probably showboated a little bit on occasions, but still easily among the Demons' best. Angus Brayshaw, not as conspicuous as last week, but hung in there. And I thought Ed Langdon had his moments on the wing, but the Demons really disappointing in that second half. And you'd think that Simon Goodwin would be pretty dirty on their forwards. A real lack of pressure by them in preventing the Bulldogs running the ball off half-back in that third quarter particularly. So Melbourne, just when you think they're getting on a roll, they turn in a performance which leaves you wondering again. And the Doggies, in contrast, they've been a bit up and down too, but good confidence builder last week against Adelaide, really built on it today. And this, I think, will stand them in particularly good stead for those 2 massive games coming up against Geelong and West Coast. Well, that is another Footyology Match Dispatch. We'll see you soon.